Welcome to part 3. This video will take a closer look at the survey, which is the mechanism for reporting on SDG Indicator 651. The SDG Indicator 651 survey, and the right hand shows how the scores are calculated. The survey has 33 questions split into 4 sections, which reflect the 4 main dimensions of IWRM. The 4 sections are the enabling environment, covering the main policies, laws, and plans, institutional capacity and coordination, and stakeholder participation, management instruments that support effective decision-making, and financing, budgeting, and revenue raising. On the right-hand side, we see an explanation of the scoring methodology. Each question receives a score out of 100. The 4-dimension averages are calculated by averaging the question scores for each section. And the final indicator score is calculated by averaging the 4-dimension scores. Here are some key considerations to include when completing the survey. Build on the 2017 and 2020 reporting from your country. For each question, responses can be given in increments of 10, from 0 to 100. 6 threshold descriptions to guide your responses to each question. We strongly encourage you to spend some time on the free text fields after each question. All questions should be answered. It is possible to answer not applicable to some questions, such as transboundary level questions, if your country has no transboundary freshwater. And please, pay close attention to all of the explanatory text and footnotes throughout the survey. Let's take a closer look at the survey questions. Here's a simplified example of one of the questions. Firstly, at the top left, we have the section number and heading. Below this, we have the subsection heading, which is phrased as a question and guides all the questions within the subsection. Below this, we have the question itself, identified by consecutive lettering. So this question is referred to as 1.1a. To the right of the question, the thresholds and threshold descriptions are given for the scores of 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100, and these are categorized from very low to very high. If your country is between these thresholds, simply select the increment of 10 between them, so 10, 30, 50, 70, or 90. You enter the score in increments of 10 in the yellow cell. If the question is not applicable for your country, you can enter not applicable. Below the score is a very important aspect of the survey. The status and progress and way forward fields allow you to provide the context for the score and to highlight potential barriers and enablers to advancing that aspect of IWRM. You should also reflect on the progress since previous reporting rounds. The text you provide in these fields should help you reach consensus among stakeholders on the score and help you track progress over time. It also increases the objectivity and transparency of the score because it becomes evidence-based. The survey also has 3 short annexes, which are designed to make the survey instrument more useful and robust at national, regional, and global levels. These are Annex A, Glossary, Annex B, Key Priorities and Targets for IWRM Implementation, and Annex C, Country Reporting Process. We strongly encourage you to complete Annexes B and C. Some of the key changes you will notice in the 2023 survey include 2 annexes have been removed, the Transboundary Annex and the Priority Water Resources Challenges Annex. The opportunity to discuss country targets has been introduced in Annex B. Climate change aspects have been strengthened through additional dedicated free text fields for 5 questions in the survey. More explicit links to other SDG 6 indicators have been included. Accountability mechanisms have been included in some of the question thresholds. These cover aspects such as integrity, transparency, accountability, participation, and anti-corruption. Gender aspects have been strengthened. A gender checklist has been added as one of the supporting materials. The main guidance for completing the survey can be found within the survey itself and the monitoring guide. Additional supporting materials, which are optional, include the survey overview. This is a one-page summary which can be useful to get an overview, especially to communicate the survey with stakeholders, as the survey document is quite long. The calculation template is a simple Excel file to support the correct calculation of dimension and indicator scores. It can also support to completing the table on targets in Annex B. The gender checklist is there to support discussion on survey question 2.2D on the status of gender mainstreaming in water resources management. This year, you can also use the new online survey tool, which is covered in the next video.